Nobody cares about the Big 12 though, because the Big 12 sucks, and like that's why people vouching for y'all. Like y'all about to start getting Notre Dame treatment. People about to stop vouching for y'all to go to the playoffs because y'all do the same thing every time y'all get in. I mean, I know OU sucks, but don't get mad about it. Now, don't throw picks because OU sucks now.
No, you can keep doing it.
You're saying the Big 12 is not good because you're an SEC fan.
No, I'm saying the Big 12 is not good because everybody knows the Big 12 sucks. The Big 12 plays no defense.
So you're saying 5 teams. 5 teams that are worth mentioning in the SEC are better than the Big 12. Let me tell you who's good in the SEC. LSU, Alabama, maybe Florida. The only reason you're saying the SEC is better than the Big 12.
No, I'm saying this because I'm.
All right, welcome back to Sports Talk with Amari and Christian. How are you doing today, Amari?
I'm doing good. How about you, bro?
I'm good. Man, we got some important stuff to talk about today. I mean, Antonio Brown.
Suspension lifted.
Yeah.
That's big for the NFL. Tua Tagovailoa, you know how to say his name better than I do.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Named the starting quarterback in Miami.
Yeah, after we were just talking about how Ryan Fitzpatrick was doing such a good job at the starting position.
And I know we announced that on the show. On the last show, but we didn't get in depth. Ryan Fitzpatrick came out with some tweets, and I really want to get into that and get your opinion on that today. And we got some game picks today. I want to see who you got. Let's get into it, man.
Yeah, let's start off with Ryan Fitzpatrick. I can tell you right now, I'm not too pleased with the Dolphins organization, giving the nod to Tua. You have a veteran quarterback right now that's leading your team to 500 in a pretty difficult division. I mean, historically, I don't think Tua's ready. I mean, I don't understand the reasoning behind it. Maybe it's just, they're trying to get him some regular season reps. So I understand that, but it seems rushed.
I'm gonna just say, I'm not gonna say that I don't think Tua's ready. I mean, he was a first round draft pick. He's proven that he's taking game reps in the NFL. So we know that he's healthy, ready. I mean, when is he? How are you ever gonna know he's ready without playing him? But I do feel like it's wrong that Ryan Fitzpatrick lost his job on a winning streak. But I understand that this might have been the plan the whole time for the Dolphins to get to the bye week and then start Tua. It makes sense. It makes sense in any other fashion other than Ryan Fitzpatrick balling out right now and the Dolphins winning. If they were just if this is any other team, if the Chiefs would have did this to Alex Smith the year Patrick Mahomes was drafted, the reaction probably would be different. Going into the bye because Alex Smith was very average, but Ryan Fitzpatrick, he was beating all odds on this winning streak and lost his job. Which, like I said, if the organization had those intentions from the jump, they should have communicated that with him.
Mm-hmm. And his tweet, he said, "I felt like this was my team, and that's why my heart was so heavy yesterday. My heart was just hurt all day. It was heartbreaking for me." And he has, all the right in the world to feel like that. You're 3-3 right now. You're playing really good, and you have an opportunity to be the best team. Yeah,
it's difficult, but ultimately, man, I feel like you knew they drafted a quarterback at number 6 for a reason, or number 5 for a reason. It's also a business. Ryan Fitzpatrick was on the sideline Sunday when Tua came in and completed 2 passes for 11 yards, and the crowd was going crazy like LeBron James just won a championship. That stuff like that, you can't gauge as a player, but as an owner, what are you looking for? When you hear the crowd go crazy like that over 2 passes for 11 yards, the first thing that goes to clicking in your head is dollar signs and ching ching. That's all you hear as an owner.
It's the future. And let me say this. My concerns with Tua this season was obviously the hip injury that he suffered at Alabama. Mm-hmm. And we all assumed, I would say a lot of us assumed that he was going to sit out an entire season and develop, get healthy. Yeah, and obviously he's progressed a lot, during the offseason. And Ryan Fitzpatrick put them in a position at a 3-3 start, and they're like, you know what, Tua's healthy enough. Maybe he can take us, to the next level.
And I think my concerns as far as health-wise with Tua, I think they went out the window in the offseason when he was posting all his workout videos, all the videos of him throwing and his full range of motion in his hip. So I wasn't too worried about that. I was more so worried about him going in with no help, with lack of help in Miami, and getting hurt. Saying the O-line, not even the hip injury, but a back injury or something, from getting hit or just like having to hold the ball too long because the receivers weren't that good. The players got better in Miami, but the culture is changing. And they're a better organization right now.
Absolutely. And
from front to back.
There's also, there's still positives to this. I mean, if Tua goes down with an injury, you still have Ryan right there. So,
but
they have a pretty strong quarterback.
I feel like after getting your heart broken like that, I feel like it's going to be hard to put your heart back in it if you're Ryan Fitzpatrick. Unless you're just praying for him to get hurt. Like, unless you're just like, I hope he gets hurt so I can get back in.
No, because Ryan, he later tweeted that he has to separate his feelings, and be a professional about this, basically. And he's absolutely right. You can't be hurt about it. If his time comes, he needs to be able to step in and, take control of this team. He's still holding a huge leadership role in that locker room. He's a veteran quarterback. He knows how to win. And if anybody's going to lead, and try and get inside Tua's head, help him mentally prepare for games, it's going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick. So he's definitely still playing a huge role in this team.
Yeah.
But on to the next topic. Did you see that Le'Veon Bell signed with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, I did see that. I wasn't too... I'm not too scared of it, honestly. I feel like it's like my cousin said this about the Browns when Odell got traded. He said, it's not enough football there. Like, it's only one football on the field. It's not enough for this to work how people think this is going to work. I think it's the same thing for Le'Veon Bell with the Chiefs.
Yeah, I mean, I was excited when I saw it. I mean, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but, I mean, I just like seeing prolific offenses, score. There's not enough touches to go around. Clyde's Edwards-Helaire, the rookie, he's already doing enough for the Chiefs.
Somebody's going to get the very short end of the stick.
Yeah, I just think he's an added threat to Kansas City. He's another person a defense has to account for.
Yeah. I mean, and they won't use him at receiver like the Steelers use him. I don't think he has that same explosion. Like, I think that year off really affected him. Like, I don't know if you watched him in New York or not, but not only from running the ball, because we know the Jets O-line sucks, but even from a receiving perspective, he didn't bring that same oomph to New York that he had in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I honestly think he only signed with the New York Jets because of not because of the contract, because Pittsburgh actually offered him another contract. See,
but Pittsburgh didn't offer him the number he wanted, and he sat out and then ended up settling for what the Jets gave him.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Le'Veon Bell fan. I mean, I think he's just a running back that has a lot of patience, and he could change the game really quick. And I was about to make an excuse for him and say why he signed with the New York Jets, but I actually forgot that, everybody was expecting that contract from the Jets was going to be huge.
Yeah.
Because they announced it.
It was not worth sitting a year for Le'Veon.
Yeah, and because at first they didn't announce how much his contract was for. Mm-hmm. And then later it came out that it actually was less than what the Steelers were offering him. So honestly, the thought process of Le'Veon Bell, I honestly don't understand.
But you got to think about it, though. It was less than what the Steelers offered because it was a year later. At that point, he was just in settle mode. Like, his plan didn't go as he thought it was going to go. Like, he thought he was going to sit out a year and he's going to have all these big numbers waiting on him. No, dude, you took a year off from football and got fat. He got bigger. Mm-hmm. And came back a little slower. So teams weren't offering him the same money.
And I think he's going to settle into the Kansas City Chiefs offense. I think he'll get more production out of the Chiefs than he did at the Jets.
He won't.
Especially,
it's too much. I'm telling you why.
I think down in the red zone he'll get more touches.
It's too many people that need that ball.
Yeah.
In the red zone, the Chiefs don't run the ball in the red zone. You know who they throw it to? Travis Kelce.
Hey, when that's not working, you go to your second option.
Yeah, but when is it not working?
Yeah, and then we're like, well, who's their second option?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah. And then you got their third. You got Hardman. Who's their fourth?
Yeah, like the Chiefs' offense is deep. And don't get me wrong, honestly, him coming in being the third option, I feel like he's the best third option the Chiefs have. But are the Chiefs willing to disgruntle the other guys that have been loyal to them, that have been in the system, to please him? That's the question.
Yeah, and this could be just, Antonio Brown chasing a Super Bowl.
Le'Veon Bell.
Bell.
No, it definitely is him chasing the Super Bowl. Antonio Brown.
Which
leads us to our next segment, but we're not there yet.
Absolutely.
But I think for Le'Veon Bell, it's Super Bowl or bust. Like, if the Chiefs don't win a Super Bowl, he's not playing there next year, no matter how close they get.
I think if he goes, I think they could put him on a 1-year contract if he's willing.
How
obviously.
Much? What's the deal? Did the Chiefs pick up the tag on him, like the price on him?
The headline that I saw, it was just that Le'Veon Bell was expected to sign with the Kansas City
Nobody
Chiefs.
said what was happening with his contract, because he has a lot of money coming towards him. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, assuming based upon how other things happen, with other players, the Kansas City Chiefs will more than likely pick up his contract. Because I don't.
But I don't see why, like, with him being a free agent, because he got released. I'm almost sure he's taking a pay cut to play for the Chiefs. Like he has, because the Chiefs paid a lot of people in the offseason. He has to be taking a pay cut to play for the Chiefs.
A lot of players would do that.
Yeah. But moving on, another member of the 3Bs from Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just got off his 8 games NFL suspension, or what it was, 8-week NFL suspension.
Yeah, I already said his name on accident, but I mean, one of the best teams in the league is about to get, or potentially might get a whole lot better if they end up signing Antonio Brown.
Oh boy, hey. DK was the best receiver on the Seahawks, but we all know what can happen if Russell Wilson and Antonio Brown get together.
If that happens, the season is it's a wrap. I mean,
it's not though, because like you can stop an offense. Like I don't care who's in offense, it can be stopped.
Yeah,
any offense can be stopped by the right defense.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. And before a defense can even stop an offense, you can also stop your own team as well. And Antonio Brown, it's been reported that he's a cancer in the locker room. He can't come into the Seahawks and absolutely destroy their organization.
I don't like when people say cancer in the locker room. I think of like this player that has all these people fighting each other and like picking sides in the locker room, and this player that's like every time coach says something, he's whispering in his next dude's ear. Like I don't think he's that guy.
Yeah,
he's never been. He has had a problem with locker room privacy, like when he filmed the Mike Tomlin post game speech in the playoffs before they played New England. You feel me? Like he's had a problem with privacy, but like. And he's had a problem with his helmet situation at the Raiders. But like as far as like being the guy that is like, man, coach don't know what he's doing, man. He need to change the offense type deal.
I wonder how much of that, is Antonio Brown holding people accountable for their actions. And people are taking that as, he's just questioning, he doesn't like authority. And I understand that if he's holding people accountable, I'm for that.
Let's go back to a primary situation that got him this label. When him and Big Ben got into it, when Big Ben was playing bad and AB was getting mad, and then like he would throw AB a ball, he would throw AB a low pass, right? That was really like not catchable, but AB would go for it and he'd drop it, and then everybody's blaming it on AB, and like Big Ben is telling him, like Big Ben is snapping on him sideline, but he's like, how you gonna snap on me when you throwing the ball to the D line? Like, you feel me? You throwing it low, I can barely get down and get it. Like, but a lot of stuff is narrative sometimes. And in narrative, quarterback's always right, receivers always wrong. Like, historically in the NFL.
And everything's catchable if it touches your hands type deal, which is not always true.
Not always true. Sometimes it's a guy trying to make a play, trying to make a guy that's doing bad look good.
Yeah, but he definitely has a lot of potential. I think he's definitely gotten in his way, his own way.
His last NFL game, he still looked great. Granted, it's been like a year, it's been over a year, but his last NFL game, he still looked like AB. So I can't wait to see him. He's still putting a lot of money into his body and into his training. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went into Seattle and had an immediate impact on the offense.
Might have to pick him up on fantasy football. But
next order of business, how do you feel about Odell Beckham being banned from LSU for 2 years?
It doesn't surprise me. Odell has a character just like Antonio Brown. And I'm going to use this. He's a crybaby. That's what I'm going to say.
Why we got to go there for him being banned? He didn't get banned for doing anything like anything.
I know. I'm talking about more of like a development of like his character.
I think.
Not because like. But he got banned because he was a crybaby, but it's just a development of his character.
Let's see. Let's go back and examine why he was a crybaby. Like, I know we're getting a little off track right here. We're supposed to be talking about LSU. We'll go back there in less than a minute. But wouldn't you cry if you're one of the best receivers in the league and you have one of the worst quarterbacks in the league week in and week out?
I don't think he's one of the best wide receivers.
That's odd. But he's not crying right now because he's getting the ball. And when you're one of the best, you're supposed to get the ball. Last year, you wouldn't have cried last year? If you were getting open almost every play and this dude can't throw you the ball, he can't get you the ball, or even going back to New York when this whole narrative of Odell being a crybaby started, playing with Eli Manning.
Let me tell you why I don't like his sideline behavior. If your quarterback can't get you the ball and then you immediately go to the sideline, which there were other contributing factors of why, if we're going to say Baker Mayfield, the quarterback, couldn't get in the ball. There were other contributing factors to that.
The contributing factors were that he sucked.
And what did I say in previous episodes? Success starts with an offensive line. And the Browns did not have an offensive line. And Baker Mayfield had to do a lot of escaping the pocket to try and create passes down the field.
So, in getting off track again, you're taking up for Baker Mayfield. But we gave Baker Mayfield some credit earlier in the season. But we need to realize that Baker Mayfield is like 4-13 versus winning teams. So, like, when we gave him credit, it was versus trash teams. You play a good team, you get the real Baker. Mm-hmm. How do we blame that on the offensive line when he's the same guy? Like the O-line don't change. Good or bad, the O-line's still the same. But Baker's not.
All right. We'll get back to this. Let's go back to Odell.
Odell Beckham, LSU. All right. They say he handed out $2,000 cash after the national championship. All right. I think LSU banning Odell was a big old SOS for them. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, we're going to ban him so we don't get NCAA sanctions or whatever. Like, all right, cool. Smart. Which is smart. And, like, two, Odell, this is year one of the suspension. Come back, got another season, then you back. Like, and it's not like he's playing anything. He just can't go to the games. You still can watch them from TV. You still can connect with the players like on an outside level. You feel me? Like if you want to meet up with the guys and work out in the off season, you still can do that stuff. You just can't. They suck. And the good thing for him is they probably gonna suck for the next 2 or 3 years anyways. So it won't be anything worth going to see. I just don't like how they banned him for 2 years for handing out cash to players that they don't show the right amount of love to.
Yeah.
Like this is this guy saying thank you from the program, like in a way that a lot of people think is wrong, like the NCAA think is wrong, but in a way that these kids need. Like a lot of these kids need that money. And
I mean, we even talked about the NCAA treatment of players in like episodes ago when we first started. He's showing appreciation. I mean, it's a gift. Why can't I just go in there and be like, hey man,
why can't I bless him?
Here's $2,000. The NCAA has to approve an athlete getting money.
He gave out $2,000. Like I don't even know how they got a whole number, because nobody really counted it. You seen the videos?
Yeah, and then I think somebody tried to claim that it was fake.
Yeah,
the money was fake, but I mean, who just carries around?
Yeah, that was
fake money,
but stupid. Even like if you look back to it, Justin Jefferson gave the money to his church. Like
because he was about to go get paid.
He was going to the combine anyways. So you mean to tell me, like, and that's the only person that was on camera getting money that I seen. That was the only video I seen him handing out money. So this man got banned from LSU for 2 years for money that got donated to a church.
When I first commented on it, he's a crybaby. He has a big ego, so I wasn't surprised that he went to the national championship game.
Which he's an alumni.
With a big ego, and started handing out cash. So I wasn't surprised because off of previous, behavior from him, it's expected. But then at the same time, you're like, it's just $2,000.
Yeah,
those guys are about to leave.
Yeah. And I mean, granted, your Odell cameras are always on you, but like,
I think that's
in
why
that moment, I feel like stuff like that happens way more often than we know, but because it's Odell, it got caught on camera.
I can tell you right now that there are people at Oklahoma, Florida, Georgia, LSU, Alabama, they all get paid.
Man, bro, the bag men in the SEC alone, bags.
You're telling me that
in the Big 12 basketball, bags.
What was it? DeAndre Ayton got paid $100,000.
Come on, bro.
And then they tried to say that he didn't get it.
Yeah, bro.
He got paid $100,000 to go to Arizona.
Them people be getting a bag, bro.
I mean, you can't tell me that Alabama is consistently getting 5-star recruits year in and year out without an incentive.
All of them get challenges there after their first semester.
You're telling me Nick Saban's just going into, and I'm not saying this is for all recruits. Nick Saban uses that, if you want to win a national championship, you come to Alabama. I'm sure that works on some people. There's another incentive, that goes with recruiting.
They got to stop acting naive. Like if you're gonna shut down Odell, take a deeper dive into a lot of these programs, because I know
everybody would be shut down.
I know firsthand from like close friends like that went to D1 schools how that stuff worked. Like, trust me.
Hey,
it's a lot of illegal stuff that go on in that recruiting stuff.
Hey, you're calling people out. You've got to stop talking about this.
Hey, no, I ain't calling nobody out. I ain't say no names, but I know that stuff is slimy.
Hey, I'm not going to court for this.
Man, hey, appeal me. I'll say exactly what I said. I ain't got nothing else to say.
I'm like, I did not hear Amari say that. Audio was cut out.
We do need the NCAA need to stop acting like that.
Absolutely. So let's get into a little bit of game picks in the NFL. Are the Bills going to bounce back against the Jets this weekend?
Oh, the big win. Big bounce back. Who plays tonight?
They got New York and the Eagles, yeah.
Giants?
Yeah, the Giants.
This is where we take back control of our division tonight.
Giants are pretty bad. I'm still waiting for Devontae Freeman to kind of get going in that team. I think
It's not happening.
I mean, he did really well at Atlanta.
Atlanta had a good offense.
And obviously he doesn't have Saquon Barkley, right there on the sideline, trying to compete for snaps. So I think he has the potential of making that offense better. Not great, just better. But they have a weak division, so I think I'm going to take the Eagles tonight. I think Carson Wentz is going to have a pretty big game.
Yeah, we get back on track tonight. Who we got next?
Cowboys and Washington. I fully expect Andy Dalton to have a huge game in this one. Washington's defense is pretty bad.
I don't wish any success on Washington. I'm going Cowboys, and I hate the Cowboys, but after what Washington did to Dwayne Haskins as a young QB, what they did to him, I don't want them to win another game.
Let me tell you this: Haskins shouldn't have been drafted anyways. Haskins was not good. He was not good enough to be in the NFL.
What?
What did he do in college to deserve?
He threw for 5,000 yards in one season. You don't think that Mitchell Trubisky?
Hold on. I'm going to get to that. How many times did Haskins do that? He had one good season.
He only started 1 year.
Exactly.
Mitchell Trubisky did the same thing.
Exactly.
What's the kid name in New York?
That's why
Daniel Jones.
That's why I hated the Trubisky pick.
It's a lot of 1 year. It's a lot of 1 year wonders. I don't care who you are. You throw for 5,000 yards, you get the nod.
Some of these scouts need to be fired.
5,000 yards, Christian.
Trubisky, the scout that looked at Trubisky needs to be fired. The person that looked at Haskins needs to be fired.
Haskins? How?
He did it for one season.
How? He threw for 5,000 yards. It's what Kyler Murray did? One season, right? Hold on. You fat 1 season, right?
Kyler Murray
one season
extremely better than Haskins.
How?
Then if it's going to be based off of
both of them went up for the Heisman. What do you do better?
Who's doing something now in the NFL? Haskins or Kyler Murray?
Who's on a better team? Who has better weapons? What? Name me one weapon other than second-year receiver Terry McLaurin that Washington Redskins have. Name you cannot. Nobody. You being bogus right now.
They got nobody, but
you have to admit you are being bogus right now. You're being biased. Actually, you're being biased and bogus.
Although Washington doesn't have anybody, he was not good enough. To me,
how
he was not good enough.
You say he only did it for 1 year, right? Kyler Murray only did it for 1 year. What's the difference?
Kyler Murray led his team to the playoffs.
Did Dwayne Haskins not go to the playoffs?
He did, but
okay. What's the difference?
Who won the Heisman?
What's the difference?
Who won the Heisman?
That don't mean nothing. Both of them went for the only one person can win the Heisman.
Who had better intangibles?
What?
Kyler.
How?
He had better arm strength.
No, he didn't.
He was faster.
He's faster. That's the only intangible he had coming out of college.
Learning an offensive scheme and being able to open up an offense with Kyler, all favored.
Only thing you can say is he was faster.
What does Dwayne Haskins have that Kyler Murray doesn't?
I never said he was better than Kyler Murray, but you are being biased in forgetting that Kyler Murray. You say, he only did it for 1 year. He threw for 5,000 yards in college in a 12-game season. Come on, bro. Let's be real. Went to a team that did nothing to help him. The Cardinals went and got DeAndre Hopkins on top of already having Larry Fitzgerald, Christian Kirk. They went and got Kenyon Drake last season, mid-season for him.
I'm not discrediting. He had a good year.
I think you're
Ohio
being bogus
State
right now.
He had a good year.
It's the same. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go and compare him to another quarterback. Hold on, no, I'm gonna go and compare him to another quarterback that's struggling because of lack of help right now. Deshaun Watson. You feel like he trash?
This is his first year that he struggled this bad
because he don't have no help.
You see, I'm not gonna give him that excuse.
Who?
Deshaun Watson.
We've already talked about that.
Right now, obviously, you could say it's to an extent
Christian,
a weapons issue.
Let's just go to the next game. We getting way off track. Let's go to the next game.
All right, Broncos Chiefs. Possible snow at game time. I think if it snows, I think Broncos have a pretty good chance.
The Chiefs still gonna win it. Broncos riding high off beating the Patriots, but it ain't gonna last. They don't know how to beat the Chiefs anymore.
That Broncos don't have an offense that can match. So I feel like if the Broncos can get their running game going, give some easy looks to Drew Lock. I think I can keep it close, but I'll take Chiefs late in the fourth. All right, so we got a pretty good matchup here. The Seahawks and the Cardinals. We have two MVP front runners. Who are you going to take in that one?
I think Kyler Murray's cooled off from that MVP front runner talk, but I'm going Seahawks. Like I don't feel like the Cardinals defense has taken that step to stop Russell Wilson yet. Like they're getting better. Don't get me wrong, they look good versus the Cowboys, but I still think the Seahawks are the best team in that conference.
Yeah, I think those 2 losses that the Cardinals suffered didn't help Kyler Murray's MVP
for
talks.
Sure. It died down.
Yeah, he's still doing well, and
he's playing well, but
yeah.
still, you lose 2 games back to back, and that kind of just drives you out of it.
Yeah, and right now you can even say the same for Aaron Rodgers. He had an awful night, last week. So I think obviously the front runner is Russell Wilson. So we'll see. I mean, I think I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Aaron Rodgers still got that. He still got that like stigma though, where he's Aaron Rodgers. So like, as long as he's playing good, he's still in the talks for it. It's like that. It's like Jordan. If Jordan was ever playing above average, he's going to be in the talks for best player of the league.
Yeah, I'll take Cardinals, though. I think Kyler Murray will get it going. I think if he scores more than 3 touchdowns, and they'll set them up
they won't stop
to win. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of stopping each other. The Seahawks definitely have a better opportunity to do that with their defense. And as you saw, the Cardinals struggle to stop people consistently. But I'll still take the Cardinals on that one. All right, we got Green Bay and the Texans. As you said, Deshaun Watson is struggling right now, lack of weapons and, lack of supportive coaching staff, I guess you could say.
I'm going Green Bay.
I think I'm going to take the Texans in this. I think the Texans are going to, get going on offense, and they just kind of build upon their first win of the season. And I think right now that the Packers are kind of shocked from that first loss of the season. I think they'll still, have issues with getting in rhythm with his wide receivers.
Who?
Aaron Rodgers.
Child, please.
I think the Texans have the defense to do the same thing.
And the Packers about to turn up so bad on Houston. It ain't about to be funny.
All right, and the last one, obviously, this is the winner of them all, the Browns and the Bengals. Obviously, I think
I got the Browns.
Yeah. I think Baker Mayfield is going to bounce back.
It's a losing team. You know how he's going to do this.
Yeah, well, at least he can do it, and, Dwayne Haskins doesn't get the opportunity to.
Yeah. If you want to go there.
But that is going to do it for us today. I'm Christian. That's Amari. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
See you.